this is Annette with Sun to Shine Astrology and Tarot, and today we are going to be talking about a full moon in Capricorn that is conjunct with Jupiter in Capricorn. This is going to be a lunar eclipse, and it is going to happen on July 4th. Here, I'm at Pacific Standard Time, so I live in Seattle, Washington. Anyhow, let's talk a little bit about what it means to have a lunar eclipse in Capricorn energy. Well, something that could be coming to a head, a culmination, an ending, has to do with career, life path, destiny choices, meaning, it has to do with like maybe power and authority issues. It could be a power struggle. It could be abuse of power is some of the stuff that's on the table. It has to do with government, anything that has authority over you. So that could be, anything from laws down to anything that governs you. It also could have something to do with governing agencies, anybody that enforces the law, anybody that abuses their position of authority. So those are the things that are culminated, and those are the things that is in conjunct with Jupiter in Capricorn right now, which is in retrograde. So these are things that have something to do with the past. Something to do with maybe ways that people have abused their power or taken away the power of others. It could be the way that, somebody just, wants to take back their life. They've been dealing with something long enough, and so they're breaking free and expanding beyond those tight-knit boundaries that you can get in when you are caught in power and struggle relationships with anything or anybody, whether it be your work or whether it be an ex or whether it be a relationship that you're currently in. Those are things that are on the table. Now, Jupiter is conjunct this lunar eclipse, which means anything that Jupiter touches, it expands. It's usually a very benefic energy. And it's something that, everybody wants to see Jupiter conjunct a personal planet, because that means that you're going to get a lot of reward. Having said that, so the full moon lunar eclipse that is going to be happening in Capricorn is going to be conjunct with Jupiter. And there is a trine in Uranus and Taurus. It opposes Mercury in Cancer, which is in retrograde. So here, again, some more past stuff are coming up, and this has to do with stuff that could be at your home and family. Now, understand that Cancer energy is the polarity of Capricorn energy. So these could be things that have to do with issues at home, issues where somebody was abusing power, taking advantage of things. It could have to do with, ending a certain dynamic that is not healthy for a family. It could have to do with parents. Parents is another topic that comes up during a eclipse season, It's usually like reclaiming your power back from your parents can happen in an energy like this, or it's, a dissolution to that. But it's confronting something, nevertheless, about situations that could be home and family related. So you can bet that those energies mean that we are going to be dealing with some very intense topics and culminations. Any time that you get this level of energy, when we go through an eclipse season. Now, eclipses aren't like full moons. Full moons are culminations, yes, but this is an eclipse. This isn't just a culmination and you guys, you know, talk about it and, or you work through it, or, you know, it's a revelation. It's something revealed, something that was hidden comes out usually in full moons. This is an eclipse out. This is an absolute ending to the nonsense. It's something that cannot be unseen. It's a deal breaker, right? It would be a deal breaker. And I just want to make sure we're still filming. Yes, we are. Okay. I always get nervous. What am I doing? It's because I'm like talking about something I hate talking about. So intense energies scare me. Aw, we have the Five of Pentacles as the outcome. This is the subconscious mind. King of Cups, like him there. The Six of Wands. So that's the energy that leads up to the full moon. We have the Magician. I do reversals for myself. I do not do them for you guys though, okay. So let's talk about these cards that are on the table a little bit, and try to like decipher the energy that led up to the full moon. So this is usually somebody that has gained, screwed up my nail. That's okay. Life happens. This is usually somebody who is gaining some recognition, is gaining some notoriety, is a victory. It feels like it's a small victory. It's not a big victory, but it is somebody that has some recognition for the achievements that they've done. And this is the affirmation from other people, the recognition, which is very, very Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy is about recognition and status and money and career success and all of those things. So somebody could have, you know, had some very affirming confirmation that they're on the right track, that they're doing the right thing, that they're getting notoriety and they're moving forward. This is what everything centers around. This is what this full moon in Capricorn lunar eclipse centers around. And it's this 10 of Swords energy. And 10 of Swords energy is a culmination. It's usually in Rider-Waite, it's usually somebody who has 10 swords in their back and they're laying on a beach and they're done. So, but in this one, I prefer this one because it's the freedom to make a choice and to, you know, have this heavy weight of all of this knowledge, but you're choosing to walk away from it and to move on. So you're not actually perishing from that information. You know, it's not an ending. It's more of a conclusion and the ability to move on. So this is very, very good that it's coming up because it is true. Like sorry, it drives me crazy when my nails aren't perfect. We are at a point where we are at a culmination. You know, information is so crazy right now. First of all, information is Mercury in Cancer in retrograde. So it's very highly sensitive information that we are hearing about. Lots of stuff coming back from people's past, lots of really negative stuff coming back from people's past, coming out into the media, being released. There's a lot of fighting, squabbling. There's a lot of believe me because, you know, I have this amount of followers, I have this much fame, I have this much, you know, people confirming what I say versus what you say. It could be very much like that, but that is kind of in a way abuse of power because, you know, even if the information that is coming out, it could be untrue, but because they have maybe more recognition or they have a higher status than you, or they have, you know, they've always had affirmation from, you know, their group, they're not believed for the information that's coming out. Now, mind you, the Mercury in Cancer, which is in retrograde right now, it's conjunct the Sun in Cancer. So this is very highly sensitive information. This is about comfort zones, more importantly. sometimes we get caught in comfort zones because we want to keep everything the same, not because it's good or that comfort zone is good for us. Not that, you know, we should be comfortable under those circumstances, because sometimes you can be very comfortable in something that you've created as a normal for you, but your normal shouldn't be normal. And that's highly possible in this energy, because we have a lot of cardinal energy. So that's a lot of energy that will push this to ignite action in others. It will create action, basically. And so with all of this energy being, because you've got, you know, Mercury, which is in retrograde, you've got the full moon in Capricorn, this lunar eclipse that's conjunct Jupiter, which means it's going to expand. Anything that comes out is just going to be more than you are going to be comfortable with hearing or listening to, or it will definitely challenge how you summarize or how you give your power to others, and how much you trust the agencies that govern us, or the laws that we have to abide by, or the structure that you know, is out there. Because Capricorn energy rules structure. It rules, you know, staying inside the box. Aquarius energy rules going outside of the box, right? So this is definitely about keeping everything in a tight little box, but coming out is kind of, because Jupiter expands it out of the box. You can't contain it. You can't, because if Jupiter touches it, it just expands everything. And with Mars in this very, very, very aggressive mood in Aries, which means it's things you identify with, it's things that are important to you, it's things that bring into play your ego. It makes you mad. It makes you want to fight for and take back your power in. I mean, that's a square of this culmination. And this is a very deeply emotional time. Like anytime you get into a moon's energy, you are dealing with emotion. And so I don't know if you've ever known a Capricorn. They're super chill until they're not chill. And then they just erupt and they go off, and they're so nuts. They are so nuts. And that is what this energy can be like. It can be like, you know, everything was fine, and then it just culminated and came to a head, and then just all hell breaks loose. So I anticipate that it's going to go down. It's going to go down because of Mars and Chiron. These are wounds. These are things that are hard for us to deal with. These are things we're sensitive about, you know. Okay, I'm just going to lay the... Oh, I love that we got the wish card. That's always a plus for me. Page of Cups. I want to make sure that you can see this. I'm going to have to do this on the moon card. Seriously? Of course we get the moon card coming up. It's a lunar eclipse. She's my girl. I love her when she comes up. She's like my spirit. This is my spirit card. Like, look, isn't she cute? Like, she just, she has such great energy. Okay. So you can see everything, right? Yep. Right? Yep. Okay, sorry. I had to look. All right. So Saturn rules Capricorn energy, and it is in a critical degree, guys, and it went into retrograde. Yeah. More past stuff. More abuses of power. I would think that this is more of the rules that were not followed, the mismanagement of authority is going to come up, because it is conjunct Pluto and conjunct Jupiter. So that's more of that energy that expands everything it touches. Jupiter in retrograde, past stuff. Then we've got Pluto in Capricorn, past stuff in retrograde. And Pluto is the destructor. It is the destroyer and the rebirth energy. It is the end and the beginning. And it's the culmination and the renewal, you know, or the birth of. So it is a very extreme energy. And when these guys are all nestled in together, right? And Saturn is in this critical degrees, this is the taskmaster planet holding you accountable for, or holding whomever accountable for things that have went south. Because I say that because Saturn in Capricorn, which is in retrograde, is in a quincunx, an exact quincunx with the North Node in Gemini. And so, and North Node in Gemini is still in a critical degree. So this is, look, Saturn doesn't like, and Capricorn, they don't like to be lied to. They don't like the truth to be skewed. They don't like, you know, Capricorn energy with Saturn energy. It doesn't like it when the rules aren't followed, when proper structure is not maintained. It doesn't like any of that, you know? It likes everything to make sense and follow along a certain set of rules and regulations that govern ethical behavior and stay in control. Well, in this energy, there is something about it that is dualistic, double-sided. It's the twins. So something is going to go down. 100%. And Saturn is in a beautiful sextile with Mars. So this is something that whatever gets fought over, it's for the greater good. Like, it's to create order and structure back into a broken system, or a broken where there is no order. I am trying to keep my political opinion out of this. This has everything to do with politics, but we won't talk about that here, just because I want to be respectful to anybody who has any kind of view, because it's not right for me to get on my social platform and discuss my political views. Having said that, this is a very politically driven full moon in Capricorn, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And what's going to expand is things from the past. Things are going to come up. Now, let's just talk a little bit about the cards, because I've been talking a lot about astrology and not enough about tarot. And tarot is a lot more fun to talk about. So what led up to all of this was the Page of Cups. This is a lot of emotion. I love the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups to me is more of a Piscean energy. There's an innocence and a naivety. It's the dreamer of, it's something that you've got to learn on an emotional level is going to come up. Something you need to master on this emotional level is going to come up, having to do with this level of recognition, this level of status, and this level of fame. It is, if you're emotionally invested in something and you are doing things to you're creating actions that regarding something that you're super passionate about, know that you're in the learning phase of that. So whatever comes out of this, this could not be intentional. This could have been something that was just a complete learning experience moving forward that led up to all this energy. And then there was this recognition, there was this learning experience, there was this new emotional endeavor, there was this, romantically hopeful energy. Venus is in Gemini, and it's beautiful. I think the best energy on here is Venus is in Gemini, and it's having a sextile with Mars, a sextile with Chiron, and a trine with Saturn from the past. So somebody could come back, or a situation could come back from the past that may actually be something that you do need to revisit. It's something that you may not have aligned with back in the past. There could have been a power struggle. There could have been something that happened in the relationship, but now you're revisiting it because, you know, it's something that, you know, as far as in love goes, I think it's something that moves past all of what happened to you. So I would say that in the love sector of this, it's pretty good. The only thing that I can say is be careful that you don't just surround yourself by a bunch of yes men who never oppose you, because, you know, you could they could end up standing up for you and fighting for you and defending you, but it could bring you down along with them. I see that in the Five of Cups. You know, she has this, past that's wrought with some emotional turmoil. And, you know, she's got a couple things that she's got a couple different opportunities, but she's really hung up on this past stuff. Know that as you move forward, as we get into Aries energy, it's about moving past that and moving on from it, and taking actions that create forward movement, because, you know, now you're starting to go through the entire cycle of the zodiac as you move forward in Mars. Now, Ten of Swords, to talk about what this lunar eclipse is all about. So that was leading up. Ace of Pentacles. So we have to clear out negative energy, clear out things that drain our resources, clear out things that are not helping us grow so that we can begin to grow again. And so sometimes it's the release of a situation. It's a learning of a really hard lesson. If I can say one thing that Saturn and Capricorn in a critical degree is it's the lesson. It's the learning of that lesson. It's the karmic degree. It is where karma is coming back, and it is holding you accountable. It is the finalization of that lesson. And so does that take some walking away? Yeah. Does that take some starting over? Yeah. But in the end, I feel like it's you learn to work with others, you learn to rely on others, you learn to appreciate others, you learn to evenly distribute power. And you're not in it alone anymore. This isn't about always being in everything alone. This is about learning to rely on others and to coordinate your efforts with others and to work with others, which is really important when you were talking about energy having to do with building wealth. And wealth is not just money. It's not just coin. It's not her sitting here in this status. So she is the Four of Pentacles. This is a person that is overly defensive. She's protective. She feels poor, but she's not, because she doesn't trust anybody. She doesn't trust that what she has built, she can maintain. She probably at some point was very poor, and now she's gained some status. And so there's a part of you and a part of everybody that feels a little bit defensive in your subconscious. So here's subconscious, this is the conscious mind, and this is the conscious mind. This is the bridge over to the conscious mind from the subconscious. So I love that we have the King of Cups, because you've learned a lot about yourself, and you have a certain maturity. So if you look at what in the past built up to this, there was a time when you were a Page of Cups and you made decisions that were all heart-based, and or that had a lot of emotion tied to it. And in this energy, you went from this to the King. Although I don't think you understand the power that you've attained on an emotional level, the ability to regulate yourself now, the ability to look at things rationally as much as you look at things emotionally when you are talking about something that you're emotionally invested in. It's like you can actually bring rationale to that, and you have some balance between the two worlds. I'm glad that's in your subconscious, because that can regulate this need to feel super overprotective in earth energy right now. And Pentacles are earth, and the full moon in Capricorn is actually, it's like earth energy. And so we want to pay attention to our financial situation. We want to pay attention to our what we've built up till now, because that's really important. Now, culminations, endings bring about change and new beginnings. It's just, and when you have Pluto and Capricorn conjunct with Jupiter and Capricorn, conjunct with Saturn, this is a very karmic time. It's a time that changes everything. It's a deal-breaking energy. It's all sitting in Capricorn. And that has to deal with our material, our physical realm. So there's a lot that's going to change in our physical realm. It doesn't have to be for the worst, because actually, if you want to know what's wonderful right now, Mars and Aries, it's in a sextile, a beautiful sextile with all this energy. So that is the ability to do something about your situation to create a lot of reward. So we have the Nine of Cups here. I want you to think about what you emotionally want. And I want you to make a wish, because this stems from deep inside of you. This will create an emotional momentum. This is such a karmic eclipse season that we want to work in energy on a very karmic level. So I want you to just take a second, and I want you to wish for something that would bring you emotional fulfillment, because after the 9 is a 10. So this is a very karmic time to intend on being emotionally sustained and emotionally happy. Now, mind you, we want to move away from things that make you hypersensitive, things that make you feel unsafe, things that aren't comfortable. I want you to wish for something as if you won the lottery tomorrow, and if you could have something that you emotionally wanted, what would it be? And attach emotion to it, and attach that level of momentum as we move forward in this energy, because it's a very karmic time. And if you combine these two, you don't want to be in doubt. You don't want to be in lack. You don't want to feel scared. This has to be energy where you just, you've learned a lot about this, and you understand that you are the manifester. You're the co-creator of your environment. Okay. And this is going to work in a place that's deep inside of you to manifest this energy, because what comes out of this is just really a beautiful energy. Now, is there some information that's going to come out? Is there a feeling of a culmination that we need to move on? We need to move past this stuff. We need to find ways to empower this situation and create resolution. Absolutely, that's what comes out of a lunar eclipse in Capricorn. That is, conjunct Jupiter. There's a positive way that we do have a way to turn this energy around to create positivity. It's funny because we have the Page, then we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the King. That's very interesting to me. There's a lot of cups here. And guess what's cups? Guess what is cups, guys? The polarity of Capricorn energy. Cancer. Your sun's in Cancer. Mercury's in Cancer right now. And this is something that we've been dealing with for a really long time. And it's to empower you to get out of those feelings of discomfort or powerlessness or things that, you know. So the Knight of Cups in your consciousness, what is going to be in your world, is he's just the ultimate dreamer of love and of emotional abundance. Like, he's the doer. He's the doer that he's not scared to take a risk and put himself out there, because he's the ultimate dreamer when it comes to manifesting love. And if it's anything that a sun in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, because Mercury's your mind, your sun is your center. So this is like centralizing you on putting love out into the world. I mean, heart, emotion. You know, it pains me because we have 2 4s here. 4s have to do with stability. And there's exhaustion, I can see. There's a need of, you need to have some rest. You need to relax. So retrograde energy, let's talk a little bit about that, because, you know, we're talking about stability. If you need to withdraw and you need to relax and you need to recuperate and you need to rejuvenate and you need to reconnect with positivity, that's really, really something you guys should do right now, because there's a lot of energy out there pulling us into angry headspaces, and we deeply identify with all this stuff, and we're warriors, so we want to go do something about it. That would be your all this Aries energy. And, you know, we want to make changes. We want to stand up. We want to fight for what we believe in and fight for what's right. And we want to create lemonade out of lemons, you know, right now. Like, we want this to change, and it will. I mean, we're in a very karmic time. Be mindful of where you are at in your headspace. You know, home is going to be a really important place for you to rejuvenate yourself, to relax. It's really important for you to balance out that feeling of needing to relax, along with taking stands every once in a while. I mean, that's totally fine. Now, this is what to expect in the future, right? This pile over here. And what to expect in the future is there's more to come. The moon card in this is there's more to come, and it's going to be emotionally charged. And intuitively, I think all of you probably know that, you know, there's more to come from all of this, and there's more that's going to come out. So intuitively, if you hear information, let's say, that's super triggering, and it just creates, you know, a feeling of wanting to fight about it, or wanting to defend, or wanting to, or it just hurts you in some way, triggers you, it hits a soft spot. You know, there's more information about that, because we're in a retrograde, so we don't have the whole story when we're in retrogrades. In Mercury, stuff does come out. It tends to be unearthed from the past, but it's not the total story. And so I really love that Mercury in Cancer in retrograde is in a sextile with Uranus and Taurus. So Uranus is the planet that rules like chaos and shocking and the unexpected and out of the box thinking, but it's in Taurus. So this will slowly trickle out, and you will formulate a picture in its entirety, but intuitively, your super senses are going to be firing off a lot of information. I would probably listen to that more than I would listen to all of the rhetoric that's going to be coming out as we move forward with this, because people who are pulling forth these conversations and having these power struggles, they're really, really, really good at manipulating the story. I mean, you've got Venus and Gemini, really good at attracting tension, manipulating stories. manipulating information. That's another really good one that's going to happen right now. So the moon card is going to be your best bet. It's going to be your protector and your savior, because you do want to take a look at the entire picture. Now, oh my gosh, I did not notice this. Dudes, sorry, my bad. I didn't look at the big picture. Look at this. This is so effing crazy. Look at the progression of these cards. We go from King of Cups, Queen of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups, and we got the Page of Cups. So we've got, technically, we've got an entire family here. We've got kids, we've got, you know, your teenager, your young adult, we've got the divine feminine, the divine masculine in this energy. Everybody's making an appearance. This could be having to do with what you want on all levels. Say you're not part of a family, say you're single. Well, this could be you really aligned with your divine masculine, your divine feminine part of you. This is the wanting and the yearning to take a risk and to put yourself out there. And it could mean that you have this is a new skill. You haven't been out there in a while. So it's something like you can spin these cards any way you want to, but they're very interesting that they're all showing up. So I told you that this was a very, very karmic time, that this has a lot to do with the polarity. So if you think of Saturn being in Capricorn, the polarity of that would be Cancer, right? And so the polarity of that is all of this emotional energy. So I'm going to tell you right now, intuition is on point. Your spidey senses are going to be in your emotions, what you feel. Feel out situations, feel things out. Now, don't get all caught up in your emotions and get lost in them, but feel it out. Really let your gut talk to you, because there's some pretty interesting energy in here around all these cups that I'm seeing in here, along with this water energy, really grounding you in your emotions, I think, for some of you. The Magician is one of my favorites. He comes up a lot for me. This is the learning to use your powers. And in this reading, I would say it's learning how to develop your intuition. It's learning how to master and to control what goes in and what goes out. So for empaths, this could be learning how to create valves and turn them off and on at your whim, and to not absorb everything, and to be in control of things that you used to not be able to be in control of. It could be that for some of you, it's just the empowerment in yourself, the trust and the faith that you have in yourself. You can feel that now. You can feel that brewing in you. You can feel like something is changing, and you're learning how to yield and wrap that power around what you want it to accentuate. Oh, I love this reading. But you put these three together, and I just think for the future, I mean, for where this is headed, doesn't that just say to you that the power is in your intuition and your emotion? The power is, I mean, you can feel what you can't see. This is just, I mean, look at that queen. I mean, she's just completely tuned into source, divinely guided. Yeah, wow, that's really beautiful. And then we've got the outcome here. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fighting. This is going to be a lot of competition. This is going to be about conflict. This is going to be all fired up. I mean, come on. We've got Mars and Aries in a square with everything. I mean, it's in a square with the lunar eclipse in Capricorn. It's in a square with the sun in Cancer. It's in a square with Mercury in Cancer. It's in a mood. And Sometimes that's what initiates change, is the movement, the anger, the highly charged emotions that you have to do something about this. Like, it can't continue. If people are abusing power, this is going to be the tearing down of that abuse of power. It's the removal of the abuse of power. It's the fighting and standing up against the abuse of power. It's the leaving. It's the packing your stuff and going. I'm done kind of stuff. And look at you. You got this beautiful Queen of Wands, man. She is so, she's so my like card. I'm a Leo on the cusp of Cancer, and I just get her. She is so all ready to do anything she's got to do. She is confident. She is secure. She understands. She's very intuitive. She's got her cat sitting there. She's very, very, very intuitive. She acts off of intuition. She does not hesitate because she is very divinely guided by her intuition. She's very tuned into source, and she gets very fired up, and she's okay with taking action. And she, I mean, a divine feminine. Don't get hung up on pronouns. You know, a divine feminine is emotional. So this could just mean the divine feminine in you gets emotional about this. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It's the divine feminine side of you saying, emotionally getting ready to kick a little booty, man. 5 of Pentacles. This is a loss. This is a loss for this person. This is a feeling like you don't have power. Really? Because you do. Because you do. It's surrounded by all this. It was in the middle of all of this. So it's the getting over this, getting sick of it, done with being defeated in the material realm, done with the hopeless feeling, done, getting all up in your Queen of Wands energy, your divine feminine, your intuitive side, and it is going out there and creating havoc and reclaiming your power. So, woo! Freaking love this. I'm sorry, I get really fired up when I feel stuff like I just like, ah! Okay. So I'm going to do this because that was a long, I'm sorry, there's so much energy in this lunar eclipse. It's exhausting. Like, when I feel it, I'm like, I'm already wore out and I haven't even lived it yet. But I will. I want to pick out a spirit animal. I am an animal freak. I have an animal deck that I use every day, but that's mine. So I ordered this. I always love the wild unknown. I keep everything in their boxes, so I shouldn't have done it like this, but my bad. Okay, I will. Sorry. I thought this could be for you guys because my animal totem deck, she's mine. I use her every day. This one I'll make for you guys. So let's pick your spirit animal. I want to get in touch with animals because we are dealing with earth energy, and it is important to take a look at all this energy and ground it in things that are just actually on this earth. I got this. This is such a beautiful card. It is the soul cards. It's the second soul cards. And I really resonate. I chose this for the reading today. And look at this. Look at this. This tree. The energy from this tree is just part of a bigger entity. It's part of the divine. You know, I get a lot of energy when I touch a tree. I feel like it grounds me and connects me to source. I feel like that's what this person just needs, is to be grounded and connected to source, simplify, and to find some like rest and peace of mind in a very, very crazy time. So I really loved that. Really, it's holding true to this reading. Okay, let's figure out what your guys' spirit animal is. Riffle shuffle these. I kind of love the way they feel. They feel so different from the light seer deck, but Okay. You know me, I put piles into threes because I'm a life path 3. You know what I do? I'll pick one for the sun. I'll pick one for the moon and one for the sun because they're opposing and they're in this lunar eclipse. So we've got the earthworm. So funny. What a Capricorn energy, right? Like, doesn't that just crack you up? And then we have the gazelle. So beautiful. Just very, ooh, and I said the sun and this was the moon. That's very interesting. These are our spirit animals. And I'll read. I'm new to these spirit animals. I am not new, however, to, so earthworm would be, I'll know this book. I just literally got these yesterday, so I don't understand the reasoning behind this book, like how they have it in here. Or earthworm. Shy, hesitant, reluctant to share the inner vision. Wouldn't that be, that's like a Capricorn if I ever heard one. We have all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie, a novice, working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it is important to remember that they once felt like the earthworm energy too. I really like that because as something culminates, so this full moon in Earth is going to culminate and something new is going to be reborn out of that. And it's really important that you understand that. And then we have water, which is the gazelle. Whoops, I'm sorry. That is not water. My bad. My bad. I kind of don't understand how this is put in here. Fire. That's what I meant to say. We are going to get all fired up in this energy for crying out loud. Like, oh, there it is. I knew I saw it. Okay. Heightened awareness and the ability, vulnerable. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. The gazelle's personality are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering hyper-vigilant. And this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they have spent so much effort cultivating. No more worrying about all the predators out in the world. When this card appears, it is time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your gentle spirit. I love that that's a counterbalance to the earthworm. I love also that earthworms are just, they're very resilient. You know, you can cut them up into little pieces and they just become 4 different worms. So this lets you know that in the material realm, you will be resilient. This is a passing time and something good can come of it. And it's beautiful. Venus is in a great mood. So the sextile in this energy is Venus and Gemini. It's the ability to look at this situation and make something from it. So I really like that. Tea leaves are, I'm passionate about this. I use these personally every day and they are dead the frack on. Like, they're amazing. Like, if you should get these if you don't have them. Like, love them so much. So I just picked 3 because life path 3, I do everything in 3s. Alrighty. I'll just go with what I feel. Definitely that one jumped out. So of course we're going to pick it. That one had 2 stuck to. Ooh, I feel you. Okay, got him. The only thing I don't like about them is they're kind of hard to pick up, but I don't care. These are one of the best things I ever bought. They seriously do call me out. And they're not sugar coated. So there's definitely some leaves in here that are like you don't ever want to see. Well, that was a 4-leaf clover. Good luck. It's good to see. Okay. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of downtime after hearing all that crazy stuff I just said. Oh, we have funeral, a period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Rainbow, the most difficult part of a situation is over. A desk, pay attention to your work. Such a Capricorn energy. Yeah, pay attention to your work. The most difficult part. You know, what's done is done. That's the way I feel about the rainbow and this funeral. What's done is done. All we can do is work with the knowledge that we have. And we can move forward with it, and we can do something good with it. Okay? We've got to concentrate on the things that really matter here. Okay, so we're gonna do Soul's Journey. A lunar eclipse is a soul changing time. It is it's a very karmic time. It's when we get realigned with destiny, and it's when things change dramatically and we're at the whim of it. Like, there's nothing we can do to stop this energy from doing what it does. And so we've got to have faith that it's for the greater good, and that, you know, in the end, it was destined to happen. We have fear. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. People are going to fearmonger right now. They're going to create a lot of questions out into the world. And you can be at their whim, or you can reclaim your power and not let them take you down the journey that they want you to go down. Because understand, anybody can spin information right now to make themselves look like they're the victim when they're not. There's two sides to this story. Remember, Venus is in Gemini. There's two parts to this information. Two ways to look at everything that you are hearing and being subjected to. There's two ways to deal with a situation. There's two actions you can take. There's a lot of duality right now in this energy, which is really unsettling for Capricorn energy and Cancer energy for that matter. They don't like duality. They like consistent, reliable information. Okay. Blue moon, the unexpected. Oh yeah, I can see a lot of unexpected energy coming out of this. Look, Uranus is in Taurus, and it's in a trine. So I don't think you guys are going to truly expect what is coming down. I think we probably intuitively know stuff is going to come up, but I don't think we understand just how life-altering this information is going to be. 100%. Wisdom we attain from this lunar eclipse. Let's talk about that. No idea how long this video is. I've been talking forever, it seems like. I'm very tired. Okay, so we're just gonna, whoops, my bad. These corners, the only thing I don't like about the Wisdom House of the Night oracles is the corners are like freaking knives. They're so sharp. I hate it. But I love the gilding, so I don't want to like change the deck at all. The moon. Of course we get the moon. I mean, it's a full moon lunar eclipse. Look at it with this cat though. Look at it. I want to read the book. I know what this means, but the book is good on this one. It is 50. Sorry. It's a good little snippet that I think you guys like want to hear. 50. It's way in the back. 49. It's like the last page. There we go. This is a sign that you must trust your gut. Your instincts and your intuition will lead the way through the darkness. Didn't I just say that to you guys? When you choose the symbol of the moon as your guide, you know that it is necessary to look beyond the obvious to know the truth of things. The reason I'm reading you this is because I told you that. Sometimes people will say one thing and you will have a weird feeling that they mean something else altogether. You have this power. You are being asked to use it now. Choose another card to get a deeper look at what is going on behind the scenes. Okay, let's just do that. Let's just do what's going on. What's the tea? What's going on, man? Okay, so what is the moon trying to tell you to be aware of? This unexpected blue moon, this unique experience. Okay. Juicy, juicy. A message. You're going to get a message. And the message is going to be very clear. But I think the message you get has more to do with confirming something that you've intuitively felt all along. And what is unearthed from all of this will technically be the absolute truth. You know what I mean? So, the reason I'm choosing the healing reading cards is because you always have some healing to do after a lunar eclipse. Like, I don't think I've ever experienced a lunar eclipse where it wasn't like, dang, that's some harsh knowledge. That's like brutal. It just hurts me. They hurt me. I never like them. I'm not a big fan of lunar eclipses because I don't like to have anything eclipsed out. I don't like culminations. I like to stay in dreamland because I'm a Gemini rising. We don't like to face the truth. Aw, love. Ooh, I love this one. So I told you Venus and Gemini is in a great mood. And I told you that somebody from your past, look at the way that painting is looking at her. It's kind of spooky and cool. So somebody from your past. Oh, I just got a connection of like these two cards. Like maybe somebody is looking at some social media and they're just looking at your pictures and you kind of like will bring that person into your energy if you're kind of like looking at their social media, or you might get a message in social media. Yeah, that's super cool. Maybe it was a love from long ago that is coming back, or somebody that was like very much somebody that was like you were going to have a relationship with, somebody that you had something like long-term plans with and then they fell through, or something that you thought you were gonna have a future with, that could be coming back up. No, I'm not gonna do that one. And I feel like we're running here. Oops, I know what I want to do. Let's do the astrology. Let's figure out some astrology. I've still got to go through the letters. This is going to be too long. If you guys stay this long, thank you. Because I can go on and on about astrology. But frack, when you get to the eclipse season, dude, they're like beyond hard to talk about and keep condensed into, you know, like maybe pause it and go back to it at a certain time. Or maybe just like put this on when you guys are getting ready or something. Okay, I'm actually going to pick 3 just because I'm just feeling so inclined to do so. So we have the 5th house. Romance is in the air and you got love. Expect old passions to be rekindled. And look for new ones to be stirred. Ooh, love is in the air. I don't know why I'm getting all spunky. Secret knowledge, the 12th house. The secret may be soon revealed. Ask your guides to help you bring this hidden knowledge to light. A message again comes up. And the 12th house is, you know, a very, very intense energy to feel. You know what? I want to put you right here. We'll do that. We'll put these over here. And we'll do the 3rd one. The ascendant. So the ascendant is your rising sign. And it says pamper yourself, take a sea salt bath, a walk in the woods, or even a nap if you want to. Yeah, there's a lot of self-care that needs to be involved when we are talking about this. I also think of the gazelle came to mind when I saw the fact that it's time to pamper yourself. It's time to take care of yourself. I think that that would put your all this Aries warrior energy in a really great mood. Mars and Chiron is if you can just take some time to do some self-love and some self-care, not have it be all external validation, but this is like some internal validation as well. It'd be great in this energy. I definitely want to do earth magic. I brought it out specifically to do because let's face it, this is all about earth energy, and I just want to know. I want to know how to stay grounded, how to stay rooted in the truth and make rational choices, logical, to be slow and steady and to not overreact to what comes up, and to survive this little freaking poop show. Because woo, this is some energy to feel. I'm feeling pretty good now that I'm like starting to get on the hug decks, because tarot's like real and oracles are like hugs. So Autumn Equinox, the release. Strange this comes up. I did a huge lunar, I worked in my moon journal yesterday, and I felt like I got this too, or I got something like it, and I felt like a lot of this, you'll feel better once autumn comes. I feel very strongly about autumn. So understand that we are in a season, and seasons change, and we change with those seasons. And I want to read the autumn equinox because I just want to tell you that for me, I deeply align with the fact that if I know that this is like a temporary feeling or temporary situation, I'm okay to deal with whatever extreme comes out of this. And I've been feeling like come autumn, come closer to the equinox, I feel like things are going to get back to normal. Things are going to be a lot better. Let's see. Now is the time to let anything in your life fall away and is no longer useful or needed for the emerging expression of who you are. Allow yourself to gradually shed what has become burdensome and no longer congruent with your soul's purpose. Conserve your energy by allowing yourself to rest for a while. Remember, we got those 4 cards? That's very interesting. So we got these cards. So it's fall means, or the release means the releasing of leaves. It means the releasing of output of energy. So we did have these 2 cards. These were our 4s, and these have to do with resting, relaxing, not, if this gets too much for you guys, I would suggest that you guys just pause and work on some self-care, rest, relax, just try to unwind, and just be very, very mindful of everything that you've been through. I mean, when we're releasing and we're culminating stuff and we're letting something go, that's just a lot, I feel like I'll do one more thing, and that is just the surrender cards, and I think I'm going to be done as far as with oracles. We're going to work on some words, and we're going to pull some charms, and we'll be finished. What do we need to surrender? Now remember, Cancers don't like, one of the hardest things for Cancers to do is to surrender, because it makes them feel unsafe and challenges comfort zones. I would say that Capricorns do not surrender well, because they are so fixated on their outcomes that surrendering is just not something. So surrender, I think, is something that we are going to have to evolve from. Now remember, we're working in our first house, which is the self, which is Mars and Aries, Capricorn and Aries. That's first house work. we're still in our 12th house work, you know, we're still very tuned in to when we were in all the Pisces energy. And so, you know, we're you know, like Neptune and Pisces is in a trine with the sun. So this means, you guys, that you are very highly intuitive. And of course, we want to open up ourselves to some love. So the middle one I'm drawn to. Surrender comparisons with other people. Keep your eyes, sorry, I'm going to state, trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Surrender to, and that goes along with Chiron and Aries and this beautiful sextile with Venus. You guys need to take care of you. You know, this is going to be very intense energy to feel. And I feel like we all just need to relax and recuperate a little bit here. Okay. I do a little dive. Okay, we've got the 10th house, which is Capricorn energy, right? We have the moon. We've talked a lot about the moon, and we have Taurus energy. Taurus energy is sitting in Uranus, and Uranus is in a sextile with the sun in Cancer. So I feel like where some of you are going to find the biggest blessing and the biggest peace is your home, being just relaxing, recharging at home. Nature's going to be a huge thing for some of you guys to ground your energy back in, to feel realigned with yourself. Earth is a healer in this energy. You want to utilize the elements that are at play. Let's see. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Let's see what keywords we have to work with this month. You know what I immediately almost saw? Power. Straight the frack out of the gate, dude. Of course we have power on the table. Oh, that's just too funny. Like, very first word, very just in your face. Just pew. Shut up. If we have this, I'm gonna laugh. Abuse. Oh, stop it. Stop. Stop abuse. That's crazy town. Toy. Wow. That's crazy. Swoop. Mug. I need a mug of coffee, man. Okay. Do I see? We don't have an L? What? What? Do we have? We don't even have an I. I was like, is that all it's gonna give me? Like, okay, let me do this. Let me think. Base. We have boy. We have, I'm so tripped out over that power word. It's like I'm so distracted now. We have vase. Somebody, we were talking about love before. So maybe somebody gets a vase of flowers. Or maybe some of the self-cares, you just buy yourself some flowers. Like, that would be great. I do that for myself. Totally fine with that. I'm just so distracted by the power word because I'm so blown away by the fact that it showed up. Like, I mean, I look at pugs. I love pugs. Pugs. We still have wave on the table. There's probably a lot of talk still about a second wave. Waves, maybe more than one wave. comes to play. U-boat, or that's boot. I can spell, I promise. Boat is here too. I feel like that's good for now, just because I've been talking for so long. I do like, yeah, we're just gonna leave that here for a minute. I'm just gonna grab, whoops, wrong one. I'm going to grab some numbers. We did have 4s pretty consistently. Let's see what shows up here. 8 again, we had that in the last reading. 73, 88, more 8s. 41, 69, 24 and 64. You can use these for dates on the calendar. You can use these for years. You can add them together and create, you know, you can add them together for numerology if you see some consistencies. Yeah. All right. And then we want final, last but not least, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. Okay. And I just don't look. Okay. Oops. Sorry, that one stuck to my finger. I always think of jewelry when I think of this, like somebody gets some jewelry. I always think of that when I see it. Oh yeah. Remember how I told you guys that like somebody's gonna maybe look at your pictures on social media? The picture came up in here. So it just makes me feel like pictures are going to be important. Maybe looking over old pictures, they're rekindling old memories, and then, you know, an action is created from that. Anchoring. Whenever I look at this, I think of just being anchored, being solid, being secure, no movement. I think of the refusal to move from, you know, because you're grounded in that spot. I think of that when I see the anchor. Oh, so this makes me think of people who have some mental sensitivities right now, who have been mentally pushed beyond. That can really happen in Cancer energy in squares. It could just, you can, and that makes me think of maybe, you know, you need to take some time. You need to rest and relax, and you need to just be mindful of your mental health right now, and to not let this push you beyond something that where you take some drastic actions. Just be super mindful of the emotional thresholds you get to. Don't let anybody push you into thinking about doing something that has consequences that you can't take back. So just be very, very mindful of your mental health. We are going through a lot. Look at these little baby feet. I think of the new beginning, new life, new, they're so cute. Such a baby person. This just makes me think of the past. And so, yep, the past we've talked about a lot coming back up again. A portal. I have felt the portal opening up for a really long time. I felt a change, a portal opening up to the sense that we can't do anything but actually, you know, walk through it. You know, we're in a stage of information where there's no going back. Everything we're learning, everything we're doing, and everything we're being exposed to changes everything. And I think about, again, this is just like some more medical issues. Just be mindful. This is like, you know, an ambulance. So we just want to be super mindful of people's health right now. You want to really take care of you. This talks a lot about just releasing, letting go, being in, you know, pamper yourself, take care of you. We've got the cat. The cat actually is here. And the cat, oh, she was, I'll show you where she was too. And that's just your intuition, but it's also just cute little kitty synchronicities. But the cat, they're very intuitive. They're very, yeah, I remember the cat was in my beautiful, look at her right here. So the cat has some synchronicities here, whether it be you just really like cats, or it could just be that right now we're very, very intuitive. We have the Queen of Diamonds, which is the Queen of Pentacles. And so that is just about understanding what you want and going after it, and being very persistent, but doing it in such a way that you create change in your life where it's going to stand the test of time. You know, this isn't an impulsive action. I don't know if you can see this, but it is Temperance. And because it came up with this, then that just means a lot to me. Just be mindful, stay in balance. You know, if your energy is going too far the other way, kind of like pull it on back, walk away from it. This isn't the time to be fighting. There's a lot of power and control struggles right now. And we've got the Eight of Wands. So yeah, guys, this is oh, this has been a long reading. It's going to be a long journey through this, and we have a lot of energy that we're going to be subjected to. Anyhow, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and be careful. Just think and plan out your actions before you act. Can you just do that for me? And can you, your impulse may not be accurate. Your impulse may be about the feels, and it may not be what's best in the long run. So can you just curb the impulse to immediately react out of something that either hurts you or makes you feel sensitive or has to do with your home and family? Don't do things that you can't take back. That's all I'm going to say. Peace, love to you all. Bye-bye.